Making democracy work. People fit between liberal and conservative ideologies. Therefore, countries need only 3 political entities. 2 of the entities are official parties that run for office. The third is a guardianship formatted to increase the efficiency of the voting system and performance of the 2 parties. The 2 official parties are managed by the people who lean in that direction. The guardianship contains all voting members, including the associates of the 2 official parties. The Barnes theory of voting provides the guardianship. The unfortunate side effect of human nature? Poorly supervised organizations have potential to become self-serving. Today's systems divide. They do not serve the people. Only one system can unite all like-minded voters, the Barnes theory of voting. If alcoholics made the rules, they would ensure that drinking and driving was legal. No different with politicians. They ensure the rules benefit them. Canada is based on democracy, not on a dynasty. What to do if you think service should be limited? At present, nothing. But value vote ballots enable you to have an opinion. You do the hiring. You pay the staff. You pay the mortgage. And you clean up their messes. Therefore, it is only fair you help manage. How? Adopt the Barnes theory of voting. If clowns ran the scientific labs, they would twist the facts and demand we laugh at the stupidity. Politicians are not clowns, but often act as if. Time to take away their ability to make us laugh and say thanks when they hurt us. COVID scamdemic. Can we stop yesterday's pain? No. But can we prevent much of tomorrow's? Yes. How? The Barnes theory of voting. Only we can take these chains from our lives and set us free. When the rich and powerful run the world, they manipulate governments, gaining control by financially supporting candidates and parties, thus making policies beholden to them. Soon governments pass laws that enable the big boys to become like our present governments, bullies. So what, you say? When abuse becomes obvious, people would revolt. Would they? Asks I. Yes, their chains prove we're no longer free. When politicians want to sacrifice our young, stupid wars. A pile of doggy-doo by any other name is still a pile of doggy-doo. Harper wanted to be Bubba Bush's buddy. Bubba said, "If you ain't a with us, you agin us." So off we went to an unwinnable war. Doggy-doo. 165 needless deaths by young Canadians, just so Harper could attend Bohemian Grove. We cannot allow strangers to have such uncontrolled power over our lives and our families. Harper walks free, but 165 Canadians don't, and all for nothing. Failed attempts to invade Afghanistan are proof of that. When like-minded groups need to be heard, only the Barnes theory of voting unites people who have different political philosophies, but similar needs. Example, farmers in BC often have the same problems as farmers on Prince Edward Island, but frequently have different political philosophies. Question, with today's divide and conquer system, how do they get together to form a strong voice? Politicians use the bait and switch trick to get elected. The party pretends they will help farmers, and farmers needing help but not having a unified voice are forced to vote against their political preference. Unfortunately, when elected, the promising party tells the farmers, "Just kidding." Individual lives, families, and businesses are too important to be left without a strong voice. When common sense walks away from government, bad policies that favor foreign countries can cripple a province or state, i.e., oil. Sometimes political authority must be challenged and reversed. With our present system, governments have all the say, and we have none, except for a useless, illiterate X. Party politics ensures all members of a party stay united, regardless how much it hurts the country or the people. Creating more groups that serve their party only, while ignoring the people, increases the problem. There are many examples of this fact, i.e. the Green, the NDP. NDP's support for the Emergency Act proves that all parties, new and old, exist for power, not the people. As soon as they smell power, they are gone. Strong reminder, you can only avoid self-inflicted pain if you point the gun away from your foot before you pull the trigger. And only when you are allowed to place your hand on the political gun do you stand a chance of not getting hurt every time politicians fire it. When those in control break laws and go too far. As a people, we hire strangers to manage our country. We do not set them up to dictate or establish a dynasty, Trudeau-mania. But our present system forces us to beg the thieves to govern the thieves, the bullies to control the bullies. And to ensure they don't do their job, we operate in a world that is controlled by comfort. Thus watch as police disband peaceful demonstrations, as banks agree to cripple those who oppose governments. But they don't differ from us. We also protect our comfort. Yes, police, doctors, politicians, and scientists protect their comfort, their mortgage, their foreign holiday, but not their oath. And our silence to avoid pain allows them to increase our pain. In the prophetic words of a young friend with a mental struggle, when describing his problems, they just get wusser and wusser. Part B will help end much of this wusser and wusser dilemma. When those in control fail miserably, as a people we must trust our leaders to care for us. But when forced to watch the disasters of their money policies take place and see our assets rise and fall at their whim, we as a people of worth must not be forced to sit silently as their policies and greed take society to hell in a handbasket. Nor should we people be subjected to the greed of their profitable war machine. Will Part B solve all our problems? No, but it will solve 1,000 times more than today's system. Plus, return politicians back to serving the people rather than just their party. The rules of the game must change. Part B will help us make good changes. They must change, or we are lost. Committees make it work. Citizens often have needs that governments love to ignore. Oftentimes, a party will make a false promise to get elected, but once elected, reject their promise. Trudeau promised 2015 to fix the voting system. Then, 2017, walked away from his promise. Committees eliminate much of this corruption. How? When a voter input, Part B, attains the required percentage, 5%, it must go to committee, and if found appropriate, must be enacted. Power to the people. Major advantage of committees? When a voter input is sent to committee, the committee members remain active until a solution is achieved. See Chapter 7, Committee. Let me be blunt. Just one example why we need this system. 2015, I sent a letter to every member of Parliament, introducing them to the Barnes theory of voting. 2017, Trudeau claimed, can't find a good system. Sent second letter to each member, calling Trudeau a liar. During those 2 years, I did not receive one inquiry from anyone, nor did I sell one book to any of them. Not one member of Parliament was looking for a better system. Solid proof no politician cares about truth or service. Our local MP, Bob Zimmer, told me they get too many letters to read them all. Gave his Prince George office a book in 2015, and they lost it. Thus, letters and petitions and books are not effective, easily ignored or lost. They choose. Blind obedience destroys. Leaders of the world have all taught the same half-truth rule, which has crippled the world and wreaked havoc. Parents and leaders of religion, governments, businesses, and sports have all preached and insisted on blind obedience. Unfortunately, the first half of this teaching can produce evil if the second half, in all things but sin, is not included. Teaching just the first part gives total control to authority. However, including the second half enables judgment and rejection of evil by subordinates when necessary. Plus, teaching honor authority in all things but sin empowers people to look after their best friend, themselves. We all know that evil lurks in every corner. Why pretend that some groups are not flawed? When it is this easy to find abusers of their authority, why do we pretend that politicians and others in positions of power are pure and honorable? Doesn't make sense to close the barn door after the horse is gone. Therefore, we need a system that checks to make sure the door is closed before disaster. The barn theory of voting. Some of the many agonies caused by supporting political correctness. To emphasize we need change the voting system, this short list of offenses reveals how broad is the field, producing people who selfishly stepped over the line and injured society. This list only scratches the surface. We must change the voting system. We must quit protecting the wrong side, the wrong people. There is no group in society that contains only saints. Therefore, why give politicians free rein? For a better tomorrow, we need to adopt the Barnes theory of voting today. Are we sleepwalking? As caring and hopeful people, we call them honorable because we hope they will act honorably. But do we know if their hearts are honorable? Only time will tell, and usually it's too late. Right? Honorable Justin Trudeau? Eh? Emergency Act. Demoted Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould for refusing to support his, Trudeau's, Lavalin scam. Your Honor, Judge Ramsey? Eh? Raped young First Nations girls who had appeared in his court. But because society referred to him as Your Honor, it took years before the honorable authorities would take the girls seriously. We act as if it is impossible to see the flaws in our governing systems. Therefore, if it is right that we label them Your Honor and honorable, then it is even more correct. We have a tool that will help keep them honorable. It is our country. It is our government. Think about it. Today, you have no input, but you need not remain voiceless. The Barnes theory of voting. I use these names and cases not because they are the only people who failed, but to show how politically correct statements blinds our thinking and endanger society. Yes, what they did was wrong. And thanks to politically correct preachings like blind obedience, all authority is honorable, they are all heroes, many others escape justice. Not detection, but too often justice. In the name of the Father, the Son, and pure love. Come, pure love, fill the hearts of your faithful, enkindle in them the fire of your Spirit. Send forth your pure love, that we be born again. Thus willing and able to help Jesus, the Son, renew the face of the earth, according to God, our Father's plan. And let it be done with the peace of pure love. I do not end with the sign of the cross, thus, this is a never-ending prayer, asking for unity and peace among people. Please join me with your never-ending prayers for improving the world's democracy. Feel free to connect with and wrap your heart around this one. Brought to you by Bill Barnes of Saintly Corruption, designer of the Value Vote ballot and developer of the Barnes theory of voting. Thank you for listening.